Good morning. It is day one of the Summerween Readathon, and I have books to show you. So I have 4 books that I brought with me for this readathon. I am here for 4 more days. So will I read a book a day? We're gonna find out. The books I brought are Tinfoil Butterfly. I've been told that the vibes feel like Watch Over Me, and that's one of my favorite books of all time. Apparently there's a woman, she's in a car, she's maybe trapped in the car needing to escape. There's a child with a tinfoil mask. That's all I know. The next one is The House in the Dark of the Woods, and apparently the vibes are exactly what the cover makes you think they are. Very strange. This is a really short one, so there are some prompts for the readathon that I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do. One of them is to read a book with haunt in the title, and I don't have any of those. So we'll see if I acquire one by the end of the readathon, but I'm probably not going to be able to do that one. One of them is to read a book completely in the dark. This one's short, might be a good one to read since it's got dark in the title. And then we have Horror Store by Grady Hendrix, and this is about like an off-brand IKEA, so the whole book is set up like an IKEA catalog, which I think is hilarious. And I think Grady Hendrix writes good summer horror, so we're doing that one. And the last one is The Year of the Witching. I read the first chapter of this for a try-chapter horror vlog, which is up now, so I'll put the link up there if you want to watch that. I really love the first chapter of this, so I'm excited to see where the story goes. We've got a puritanical society, there's a prophet, there's a dark wood, there's a witch. There's a lot of blood imagery already, so I'm intrigued. I'm a little horrified. We'll see what happens. Those are the things I'm going to be reading. I have to go film another video right now. I'm going to go around to little free libraries in my neighborhood of my parents' house because I'm here for the weekend. So I don't know how much reading I'm actually going to be able to get done today, but I think I'm going to start with this. Hello, welcome to the stairs of my parents' house. We're about to go to Barnes & Noble because every single person in my life who knows I read books has told me that Barnes & Noble is having a huge sale. So we're gonna go to the sale. My mom is coming with me. We have some things we want to buy. Mom, do you have anything in specific you want to buy?
No, just books that
We're getting books about witches for an upcoming video. What else are we looking for? Just things that look interesting that I haven't been able to find used. We have electrolytes. We're ready to go. I have not read anything, but I have acquired more books. We spent $135 in the store, which was not what I wanted to spend, but I did buy a lot of horror. So I picked up What Moves the Dead, and the only copy they had was damaged, so I got it even more discounted. So I'm probably going to read this today because I can't stop myself. I also have Woman Eating, vampire literary fiction, definitely in for that. That's a really expensive book, so I'm glad I found it half off. And then I also have Out There, which is also really expensive. This is a collection of short stories, and apparently they're really out there, so I'm excited about that. I also picked up This Thing Between Us, which I've been looking for anywhere and I can never find. This is about grief, and I just gotta say, nothing better happened to this dog or I'm gonna be really upset. I also caved and finally bought Heartstopper, and I know once I read this, I'm gonna have to pick up the other 4 books, and they're $15 each. So that's gonna be an expensive series for me, but I'm sure I'll have a great time. And then I finally found Bunny. I've also been looking for this for a long time. I've been trying to buy it used, but I bit the bullet and I bought it new because I read All's Well earlier this year and really, really loved it. So I know I love Mona Awad's writing style, and I think that this will be a good one. So the TBR may be changing. We may have an adjustment because I don't think I can stop myself from reading this. And it's short, so it'd be a good one to read during a readathon. And Women Eating is also short, good to read during a readathon. So it's Out There. This is maybe more science fiction than horror, so we'll have to see what ends up happening, but I'm gonna go read this. I also checked out the Fall of the House of Usher, which is the Edgar Allan Poe story that this is based on. So I think I'm gonna go read that on my phone quickly, and then I'll read this. And I don't have anything else I'm doing today except for dinner at 7. So we're just gonna read. finished What Moves the Dead, and I would just like to request any and all books about fungi and mushrooms that you have read. All of them, please. Every single book I have read that includes fungi and mushrooms, especially horror, gets 5 stars. Disentangled Life, nonfiction about mushrooms, incredible, 5 stars. The Girl with All the Gifts, 5 stars, one of my favorite horror books I've ever read. 5 stars. Fungi are so terrifying and so cool, and I will read anything about a mushroom. Period. That was a great first read. I'm really, really happy about that. I was just sitting and reading with a cat. I had 2 cats at one point, I had a cup of tea. It was a great time. One sitting read for sure, and the afterword was just really beautiful, and I definitely want to pick up Mexican Gothic as soon as possible because T. Kingfisher talks about Mexican Gothic in her afterword, and I did not realize that Mexican Gothic had mold and fungus, and I will be picking it up as soon as I get home. So my next read is either going to be Horror Store or This Thing Between Us. Hello. We just went to dinner, so I don't have a reading update for you because I've not done any reading since I last checked in on you. But I do have a spooky film update for you because we are about to watch Jaws, which is, in my opinion, the perfect summer scary movie. It's also my dad's favorite movie, well, one of his favorite movies, and we're gonna watch it. I've convinced my mom to let us watch it, so we're gonna go watch that. And then I'll check in tomorrow where I will read either Horror Store or This Thing Between Us. So I'll see you then. Hello. I know what you must be thinking. Katie, aren't you at your parents' house? Not anymore. And it's all thanks to this lovely furry creature. Hi, so I'm editing this right now, and just watching the rest of this clip that I filmed Saturday morning is making me anxious, so I'm not gonna edit it, you're not gonna see it, I'm just gonna tell you what happened. I was supposed to be at my parents' house until Monday night. My pet sitter bailed on me Friday night, so I booked the next flight out and got here at 11 a.m. Saturday morning. I spent the entire day Saturday cleaning Sully and my house because he had gotten sick and things were not handled the way I would have handled them. I needed to clean my entire house and my dog, and everyone is fine now. Sully is fine. I just want to move past this whole situation. I just don't want to talk about this anymore. So that's why I'm not at my parents' house anymore. I'm back home. The next clip you're gonna see is from Sunday morning when morale was a lot higher than Saturday. I didn't read anything on Saturday anyways, so there was no reason for me to turn the camera on. That's what happened. That's why I'm home. Enjoy the rest of the vlog. Hi, it's Sunday morning. Morale is higher today. Everyone is clean, everyone is happy, the house is clean. I'm reading The Passengers by John Mars, and I'm enjoying it. I got the audiobook from my library, and I am reading it on walks with the dog. And I am about, I think, 20% through. I'd already read the first 3 chapters, so I reread those, and now I'm about this far into the book. Oh my goodness, is that for me? This is my suitcase. I have not unpacked yet. I spent the entire day yesterday cleaning. Today, we're going to have a better day. I'm going to unpack my suitcase. I ate cinnamon rolls for breakfast. I finally have groceries. We're gonna have a better day 3 of Summerween. My TBR has changed. You know, I've had enough stress this weekend, and I don't want things that are gonna stress me out. So I'm going to be reading a story or 2 from out there every day for the rest of the readathon. I think these are going to be absurd and funny and creepy and exactly what I need right now. So this is now what I will be reading. I am also going to read Horror Store by Grady Hendrix today. I think this is going to give me the vibe that I want. I've read from this author before. I think I'm going to enjoy this. And the fact that it's off-brand IKEA, I think is the right amount of cheekiness that I need today. So that's the plan. I'm gonna read a story from Out There, and then I'm gonna start this, and I'll let you know what I think. I'm also reading The Passengers, which I didn't even tell you what I was thinking about this. I'm enjoying it so far. I like that we're following a lot of different characters, and then we get this jury duty situation that's happening. I believe the people in the jury duty situation are the people who are deciding who lives. I remember hearing that somewhere, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. At this point, we have just gotten to know everyone whose car has been taken over, and they're now all in contact with each other, and that's all we know at this point. So I'm enjoying it. John Mars writes books that are really easy to read. The audiobook is also incredible. There are all of these like little news stories and things at the beginning of the chapters, and it's all like a whole production. So if someone's reading a book, you hear like a page turn, or if it's like a newscast, you get the little like newscast jingle, and it's just a really enjoyable experience. So my reading is making me happy. My dog is making me happy. The fact that my house is now finally clean is making me happy. We're gonna hold on to that and forget about everything else. I can't deal with it today. And apparently now it's time for me to be licked by Sully. So I'll see you later. I read the first 3 stories of Out There, and I'm really, really enjoying this. The first story is called Out There, and it's about, all of these read a little bit like a Black Mirror episode. I know I describe so many books like that, but that's just like my perfect taste in books. I love a near future situation where some piece of technology has changed, or something that we care about now has been taken to the extreme. I just think it's such a cool look at human behavior, and that's basically what all of these are. So in Out There, there are these like androids that are called blots, and they're basically men who are like perfect, and their goal is to like scam you. Our like main character is trying to date and like trying to figure out whether or not men are blots or actual men. It's really funny because all the things that we would think of as red flags, like, oh, he's being a bit of a jerk, or he doesn't ask me about my life, or he's not paying attention to me, or he's making a weird joke, or things like that. Those are all signs that they're not a blot. And so they're like actually green flags, and people are looking for those flaws, which I thought was very interesting. The second story was The Last One on Earth, which was fine. I don't have much to say about it. And then Heart Seeks Brain, which was super, super interesting. And it's about like people's preferences, like their kinks are now like organs. And so instead of like being a boob guy or a butt guy, you're a liver guy or a heart guy. It's just like really interesting, because if you're like in a relationship with someone, you both like have your thing. So one person might be into livers, the other might be into kidneys, and so someone will like, the one person will like give you pieces of their liver, and the other person will give you pieces of their kidney. So you're like actually destroying your body because of a relationship. And it's just, the conversation's really interesting. I'm gonna think about that story for a long time. I'm really, really enjoying these, so I'm really glad I was able to pick this up. I've read a little bit more of The Passengers, but I don't have anything to say to you. I'm really loving the audiobook, so I'm forcing myself to not read it physically, and I'm going to just read it while I'm outside on walks with the dog, because I really love the audiobook. So instead, I'm going to pick up Horror Store, because I can only read 3 of these a day, have 3 to read every day for the rest of the readathon, so I'm stopping reading Out There, and I'm going to pick up Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. And I'll let you know what I think. I am obsessed with this book. Grady Hendrix knows how to write a horror book. This is my second thing I have read by him. The first one was the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. And oh my god, first I have to show you because Sully's being just illegally cute right now. Look at this. Look at this beautiful dog. He's so cute. Anyways, I'm obsessed. This book is just so freaking good. It's exactly what I wanted. It's completely taking my mind off of everything, and I'm just hooked. I'm so solidly hooked. So the premise of this book is we're following Amy. She's an Orsk employee. Orsk is off-brand IKEA. She's like struggling financially. She's kind of going nowhere in her job, and she's just trying to like transfer to another store, and she's just like not having a good time. Then there are like other people in the store, and her manager, Basil, she doesn't like. And she thinks he has it out for her, like professionally. Weird things are happening in the store. And then a couple of people end up staying overnight in the store to see what's going on. And it's so good. And then so many spooky things happen. And I think the way that this book has been constructed is just genius because it's built like the Orsk catalog, the IKEA catalog. It's very intentionally created, like the pictures and the model numbers and everything like that. Like all the model numbers have 666 somewhere in them. I just think that's just perfect. I'm having a fantastic time. My friend is coming over and we're gonna go get dinner together, and I really hope I can finish this before she gets here because all I want to do is read this book. It's so good. I'm sure you saw I turned the camera on right when it was getting crazy because I thought there might be some fun facial expressions for you to see, and boy were there. This book has gotten crazy and I'm so here for it. So I'm gonna cuddle with this fluffy smoosh while I finish reading Horror Store. That's about where I am. So I'm over halfway through. I'm having a great time. Thanks, Grady Hendrix. You made my weekend a lot better. I finished the book. This book is exactly what I needed. It's perfect. 5 stars. Incredible. I love everything about this book. Everything. I would classify this as a slasher, so technically I fulfilled one of the prompts for Summerween without even meaning to. It's horrifying, it's scary, it hooks you in, and it's talking about bigger topics, which is something that I love my horror to do. So we're talking about like work and capitalism. We're also talking about surveillance and the prison industrial complex, and I had such a good time. Such a good time. If you've read other things by this author and you haven't picked up this yet, definitely recommend. A great one to be your first Grady Hendrix as well if you haven't picked up his work before. I absolutely love how this physical book was constructed. I absolutely love how the story progressed. I had a great time. I had a great time all around, all the way through, a fantastic time. This has turned my day right around. Okay, I'm gonna go to dinner with my friend and we'll see if I do any more reading tonight. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It is Monday morning. We've already been on a nice long walk. Sally woke up at like 6:30. We had breakfast. I took a nap. It's now 10. I'm exhausted from the events of this weekend. I realized that I never told you a plot synopsis of any of the books that I have read besides Horror Store because they weren't originally on my TBR, so I'm gonna do that now. The first book I read, What Moves the Dead, this is based on the Edgar Allan Poe story, The Fall of the House of Usher, and basically there is this person in this version of the story. They are non-binary because they're a soldier, so they use the pronouns ka and kan, which I thought was a really cool element of this book. Reading books and ingesting media with non-binary pronouns is a great way to practice using those and make it normal for our brains to use those pronouns and that language. So I really enjoyed that aspect of this. So our main character gets a letter from a friend, a childhood friend, and she is dying, basically. And so our main character is like, whoa, something's going on here. I need to go see if my friend's okay. So Ka gets there and finds a nightmare. It reads like a very gothic story and like an Edgar Allan Poe story, and the fact that I knew what was going on very early on in the story, but that didn't take away my enjoyment of the story at all. I thought it was a perfect length. This was great as a novella. And the artwork in here is insane. I really loved that. Thoroughly horrifying, incredibly enjoying. Loved it. Okay, the things that I'm still reading. The Passengers. I never told you what this was about. I'm sorry. How far am I into this now? I am currently 36% of the way through The Passengers. I'm reading this on audiobook. Really loving the audiobook. This is about a near future where we have driverless cars. So it is illegal to have a car that is like manually drivable. So all the taxis, all the public transport, all of the personal vehicles, they are all autonomous vehicles. And what happens is there are, I believe, 7 cars that are taken over by a hacker, a terrorist. And they take over these cars, and all of these people have been told in 2.5 hours they're likely going to be dead. And then basically, very Black Mirror episode, I think this may have even happened in a Black Mirror episode, people are voting on who dies. And the public gets a vote and a jury gets a vote. And I'm really enjoying it. So we get to see everyone's lives. Everyone has a secret who's in the cars and on the jury. And it's just incredibly fast-paced and incredibly enjoyable. That's the premise of The Passengers, which everything I said earlier will make sense now. Okay, I am taking the day off today. It is Monday. I'm taking the day off. I was originally supposed to take the day off anyways, before my trip got cut short. And honestly, I need a day. So it's really hot. I was gonna take Sully on a hike, but it's way too hot to do that. So instead we're probably just gonna do a lot of lounging, watching YouTube, reading. I really want to finish watching Jaws because I missed the ending of Jaws when I was watching with my dad, and that's the best part of Jaws. I really love the scene where they're on the boat with the sharky. I want that scene. So I'm gonna see if I can find Jaws. Otherwise, on deck today, 3 more stories of Out There, reading more of The Passengers. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Sully just tore all the stuffing out of his toy, and he's really mad at me because I won't let him eat it. Sorry. I will vlog more of my day today. I have been doing a very poor job of that. Okay, bye. It's Tuesday. I don't know when this video is going up because I tested positive for COVID this morning and I've never had it before. Somehow I managed to last this long without having it. This video is supposed to go up at noon. I have no idea when it will go up, which sucks because I was really excited to put out 2 vlogs this week for Summerween, but that's just not gonna happen. So I think probably this will go up on Friday, and there just won't be a second half of Summerween Reading Club. I have finished The Passengers. I finished this last night, and it was really, really good. I was hooked all the way through. I loved all the twists. I'm not sure if I think I may have liked this more than the one even, and I really loved the one. So I would highly, highly recommend this if you're looking for a thriller. Okay, I feel so bad because I was with friends last night, and I had, like, one of my nostrils was stuffed up, and it's not anymore. Like, it feels better today. But I thought it was just, my sinuses always get messed up when I fly, so I thought it was just that, but turns out it's COVID. So I don't know when you'll be seeing this. I don't know what my posting schedule is gonna look like after this, but I'm just gonna focus on attempting to exercise my dog as much as possible while I have a fever. So, it's gonna be a fun week. I hope your week's better than mine was.